G'day, Chet. Hey, Loki. How you doing? Let's get started. Hey, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear you. Good, Loki. Let me just readjust in a very uncomfortable sitting position. Just sleepy. That's fair. That's super fair. I feel that too, I think. I my I was originally gonna turn my heater on, but one thing I've learned is that since the break-in, basically, um, my heater is broken. So kind of just dealing with. I'm wearing multiple layers now that it's nice and cold here in Adelaide. But yeah, my heater, my little like portable heater, just broken. So I'm having to deal with a little bit of chill. Just get a text I'm just gonna respond to quickly. All right. Sorry, that was yeah. That message just took up my time a little bit. Was shocked when you bought a little space heater up in Canada. They cost like 2.5 times more than they do in the USA. Damn, that's pretty awful. Yeah, my current one is just buggered. I don't trust it. That's the thing. I like turned it on and it heated up, not like immensely fast, but then also was like making noises. And I was like, yep, this is scuffed. This is broken. Like I was just like, yep, this is absolutely broken. Oh, that's white. I realized there's something I've forgotten. Got to draw in Dogen's berry floss. He has put down, but he didn't just throw it away like Ratchet. So do fans, damn. It's got to load up the previous page because I realized I don't have fairy floss. my fairy floss color. Also, freaking every time I go live, Giggles goes live maybe like a few seconds before me, and I'm just like, damn it, Giggles is streaming today. Just hilarious, just the amount of bad timing I have when it comes to Giggles' streams. I want to be there supporting her. I can't because I'm here doing my thing. I do just find it funny. Actually, the entire bottom should actually be filled in. Yeah, there we go. Way better. Way better. Alright. As you can see, I've actually done a bit of the shadow work already. Because I was on it today. I was working on the comic today, so yeah, a little bit of the shadow work is done. Not all of it, of course, because I'm also lazy. But a little bit. In my head, I was like, I have things to talk about today. And as soon as I hit start streaming, just completely forgot all my things that I was going to talk about. Completely forgotten. All gone. No thoughts up here. No thoughts, only art. Oh man. It's strange how much I miss the Over the Garden Wall theme music. It's just so good. And it's just oh fantastic. Every time I hear it, just beautiful. I love it. Love it. Fairly sure. What am I thinking? I always feel like I type slow. That's a big part of why messages take me a little while. I just feel like I gotta construct like a good response. That's just me. I'm gonna quickly take my jacket off. It's now all of a sudden too warm. I'm back. Good, I did unmute. Always a concern. Always a concern in my stream. Music feels a little dire. Let's quickly switch to lo-fi. More chill. Music was good, but it didn't have those chill beats that I'm looking for. I need chill beats. Oh man, I'm feeling weirdly tired. It's gonna sleep real well tonight. But then again, could also be getting sick. Start of flu season, so always a possibility. You never actually had the flu? Ah, lucky you. Lucky you, Loki. I envy you. I've had it a lot. Yeah, I've had the flu a ton of times. It always sucks. Always terrible. And Nice. Okay. Gotta add rain and stuff. That complicated, really. Background. That. That looks rough as fuck, so not that way. Yeah, that still doesn't look amazing. In my head, anyhow. Yeah, nah, I'm not a fan of that. Eh, that even doesn't feel right. That. Eh. Yeah, that feels wrong. There we go. Way better. Slightly better. Sweet. All right, on to highlights. Ow. I have this cool new brush that I've made. It's slightly more hexagonal. Because I kind of like that design. Got to do the cover over for skin color. Fine. Skin shadows. Warning. Warning? What, Loki? Oh, hello, Zidvoid. Hi, hello. Welcome to my stream. Thank you so much for raiding. How kind of you. Then can we get a shout out for Zidvoid? I could do it. Hey, another Aussie. Oh, you got him. Nice. Thank you so much, Loki. Hey, D Art Creative. Welcome. Hello, everybody who's come in from Zidvoid's raid. I am Grey Mouse Inc. If you don't know about me, I am an Australian illustrator. I'm currently working on a comic called Ratchet and the Beanstalk Brigade, or Rat Baby for short. This is the current panel that I'm working on. Loki is a mod everywhere. Oh yeah, he's just good value, that Loki. But this is the current panel. If we want to, I'll go back and show you a previous page. As you can see, we're slowly getting through. This is the first chapter. So we're almost at the end of chapter 1. This comic follows the adventures of a goblin rogue called Ratchet, and this is him right here, as he joins up with a team to steal gold and riches from giants up in the cloud top. His name is Ratchet, as you can guess from the title. But yeah, welcome. Make yourselves comfortable. What were you doing, Zidfoid? What was your stream? What were you streaming? Show the establishing shot. I can do that. It might take some time to load. It's a great panel, that is true. It took me a few months to even just put together, which is huge. But a very worthwhile kind of frame and picture, for sure. Sets the comic off to a really good start, I think. Well, you tried to stream 3D texturing, but OBS kept throwing a fit, so gave up and played games instead. That's fair enough. Yeah, I can get that. OBS is great, but it can be a bit finicky. All right. So we're gonna show you, zoom in ever so slightly. And this is it. This is our first frame. So the opening establishing shot of the comic. Took me about 4 months to work on or put together. But yeah, it's done, which is excellent. You think Substance Painter and OBS might have been fighting too hard over resources? That makes sense, yeah. Oh, and thank you. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I felt very new to illustrating in color at the time, so I am very pleasantly surprised with how it turned out. For those of you who know of them, hold on. Oh, there we go. I zoomed out accidentally, Jesus. Oh, I'm zooming out more. Classic grey mess. Those of you who know, Calypsial actually makes an appearance in this comic as well. And I believe you switched software in the middle part of it. Yes, I did. I switched from Photoshop to Clip Studio. So as a result, I actually did end up restarting. But I'm happy that I did restart because it ended up looking way, way better. As a result. But yeah. We have a little... I like to add in like people that I've met and gotten to know through streaming and stuff like that. And as that new post-it note says, if you ever want to get involved with the comic, or include or add a character that you've designed into the comic itself. Oh, thank you so much, Zidfoid, for the follow. I really appreciate that. If you actually want to get involved, we have a Discord, and you're more than welcome to post character designs and character concepts into a certain channel that I will use to actually fill populated scenes with your characters. Let's sketch a little. So you've redeemed the warm-up, Art Creative. What would you like to have as the warm-up sketch? Just quickly open up. So this was our previous warm-up, where I drew a version of myself, Gromus. Zid's most recent completed thing is actually her D&D character, if she finished it up, that is. Ooh, cool. Well, if you want to have them included in the comic, just pop it in the Discord, and I would be honored to be able to do that. Oh, this is warm up. Yeah, not a stretch. I don't stretch as the warm up. I should probably write a bit more of a thing. What is finished? Don't know the meaning of the word. Yeah, ain't that the case? I'm going to be working on this comic for years, so I fully get what you mean. You can take it back if you want, but if you want to suggest something, I can just sketch it. I'll do like a cheeky little sketch. Some of the previous ones, that was a necromorph in a bunny suit. Have to go now, but it was wonderful meeting you. It was wonderful meeting you too, Zidfoid. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you again soon. I hope to catch one of your streams. I also have a bee holder. But yeah, Gromus, which is another universe version of Grey Mouse. Can't think of anything for the warm-up. That's absolutely okay. We can always come back to it if you like. Yeah, you're more than welcome to take your time with it as well. You can suggest whenever you like. You've redeemed it, so it's yours. It's yours to use. Ain't no time, like, restrictions on it. You've redeemed it, so you win. You win that. But while you're all thinking, how's everybody doing? How'd you enjoy Zidfoid's stream? Was it fun? Was it educational? And of course, just my go-to question, how you all doing? How's your week been? Let's chat while we work away on this single panel. It usually takes about 2 streams to finish a single panel. That's because I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to just drawing. Oh. Press the wrong button. Little girl holding big heart. It looks very happy, but she is still smiling and she is happy to give the heart to a person she likes. What about that? I could do that. I could do that. Let's jump back over to warm-up page. Now, when you say heart, we talking human heart or like little love heart? It's up to me. Easy as. Illustrator's choice. Very nice. That seems like a weird old nose. That's why you were quite the normal. We had a few chats that were needing of being watched, so you were focusing there in case things headed that way again. Fair enough. Fair enough. You go where you're needed, Loki. I fully respect that. That's why you're a mod in so many different places. Pretty cool. You're a well-trusted mod. And it shows. Now, I'm good at drawing the faces bit, and then I'm just like, I should probably draw hair. Classic little girl hair, so... Oh, hold on. Gotta get this right. Gotta get this right. That being said, warm-ups are always like... Usually like just quick sketches, which is good. Oh, that's just like a bowl cut. Ooh, slightly too shallow of a cheek. Don't want it to look unhealthy. Alright, let's get this chin right. Just control Zetting. Victory, there we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, we got the head of the little girl. It's weird, when I draw hands and stuff, I like to start with the thumbs. I always find the thumbs are the easiest part to start with, in a weird way. It's like, I start with the thumbs, and it all just seems to work out. As you can tell, I have already made a choice of which heart we are going with. Making a nice edgy grunge kind of cover art. Those are terrible hands. Let's do it properly. Or close to properly. winter here. I'm just thinking about sweaters. So, girl a sweater. Dungarees. There's little kids. You could definitely see the heart in the blood red color. Yeah, that'd be good. I'll add a little bit of color. Actually, the shades would be good for that. The shading would be good for that. Pretty like twisted arms. Does not seem so heavy, but you like it. Ah, good. I try to keep it light here on this stream. I say as I draw a little girl holding a human heart. You know, try to keep things chill, as it were. Like she could be happier with this heart. Maybe. Next time we all write the heart is bigger than her head to make it more heavy. Oh, right, because heavy. So holding a big heart looks very heavy. Ah, my brain just glossed over that. Hold on, I can do. There's a. You missed the heavy part. Yeah, that's classic grey mass. I missed a point. I can make it heavier. I can make it heavier. Let's make it bigger. First of all, make it bigger. Ugh. Could be slightly bigger too. There we go. Alright, nice. Oh, hold on. And if anything, that makes it easier to draw because I get rid of the anatomy of the little girl a little bit, which is great for me. It was meant that she struggled to hold it, but is still smiling. Ah, okay. That's cute. I may have a second idea now. Now that I've learned, now that I've realized. But I'll stick with this. Clear up some of these veins and ventral bands. Ventral band, right? That's not accurate. There we go. I also love that, like, your prompt was actually very, very sweet. Nice tweakings. Thank you. I like your prompt was actually very sweet, and I made it like dark. And I'm adding just little shake lines to show the heaviness. That's right. Nah, doesn't need the band-aid on her nose. We get that she's a kid. Can you have just one little tweak? For sure, go for it. Make her look little struggle. I can do that. I can do that. Bend down his arms just a bit. Yeah, there we go. Add some struggle. Add some more struggle. Oh, jeez. There we go. Face that yeah, face that I'm thinking of. Yeah. Slightly not smiley enough, but it's getting there. It's getting there. No, that ain't it. No, now she seems too comfortable with it. Weird. Hold on. Let me grab a reference. There's a face I'm trying to make. On me. Yeah. Okay, so make the eyes slightly like wince slightly more as well. Yeah, there we go. Still looks happy, which is good, but also could be better. Yeah. That's better. She looks unsure. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Got ourselves slightly struggling. I know that it's not easy. It's one of those ones. It's a good prompt because it's challenging me in a good way, which I like and I do appreciate. There you go. That's looking about right. I'll probably add a little bit of color to it and stuff if it does not feel struggle to you, but it has nice feeling. Yeah, that's fair. I almost had an idea like halfway through. I was just like, what if she was like trying to carry it like heavy luggage, which I could probably like throw together really quick. Where she was just like, oh, that's not a head. Like this, where she's like, I'll do like the love heart this time, like that. Yeah, that's the, like, had that thought. I was just like, that'd be pretty good. I could probably throw that together real quick. Oh, hold on, that's not where. This is not where the leg goes at all. Oh. My knowledge of anatomy has betrayed me. My brain is going. No, grey mouse. There you go. This one's not going to be quite as detailed, but still very cute. Ah, thank you so much for the follow, DR Creative. Watch my progress. I appreciate that. It's also something just like a little bit of that. Sweat drops and stuff. Become enamored with this drawing. I love it. That's not how a head works. What time is it in Australia? It's, well, currently in Adelaide it is 19 past 8. It's about 8 p.m. Mass, a great artist can have amazing conversations on a wide variety of topics, especially film. That's true. That's true. When you will come, then you'll come some weekend or free days if you will be streaming at those times. I usually stream on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays.
So I will be around then. So there will be plenty of opportunities to find me. Yeah, I also, yeah, Loki is subtly um, dropping that I talk about films a lot. So I have a degree in film, dropping my credentials as I love to make these like stickers. That'd be kind of cute. It's almost 1 p.m. here or there. That's nice. You get the rest of your day to like enjoy. And got pins and needles in my feet for a moment. That was rough. What do you think about South Korean films? Do I watch any? I haven't. In I'll be honest, I haven't watched any South Korean films. I watched a lot of Italian um, and a few Russian um, historical films, things like that. But I have not heard of any South Korean films. Do you have any recommendations? And if you have watched them, of course, as well, what do you think? That that will do it for this for the warm up. Let's move that onto what kind do you want? Any. Like I watch so many different kinds of films. I'll take any kind of recommendation. You mean genre? Well, big one is horror. Horror is like prime stuff for me. Thank you for the great prompt. As that I really enjoyed like working on that because it did really tickle my brain. So I appreciate that. South Korea has some wild TV series on Netflix in the USA. Yeah, Squid Game is Korean, isn't it? That's the one that jumps out to me. You want horrors? Absolutely. I love horror. And I've heard that, from what I've heard, Korean horror is very, very good. So if you have any recommendations, well, sure, send them my way. I almost lost grasp of the English language there. I was like, wow, shit. I get so excited about horror movies, that's why. Ooh, I just glanced over to my horribly cluttered other desk and I noticed something I wanted to tell you guys about. My friends went to Bali and they recently got back, but they brought me a souvenir and it's just a little golden mouse. It is super cute. It's super lovely. I love it. I love it so much. It's a paperweight, but it's just a little golden mouse. And they're just like, we saw it and we thought of you. And I was like, that's the sweetest thing ever. Super cute. Sweet Home is a good Korean horror TV series. Ooh, I've heard a lot about Sweet Home. Yeah, definitely add that to my list actually. I have a list of ever growing recommendations because my chat are all very, very like well learned and they have good culture in terms of TV shows and stuff and anime for sure. So I just have an ever growing list. What do I have left to fill in on on the actual comic? I think I have like one last thing, and it's the light in Dogen's eyes, but that's about it. And then we can move on. Anime, what do I like? The most. So I've been getting through. I've been getting through One Piece. If that tells you anything. Um, I've been really enjoying One Piece, but also, so one of the more recent animes that I have watched is um, Jujutsu Kaisen, which I adored. It's so good. Such a like fantastic anime. and I'm tossing up whether or not to get like a Crunchyroll subscription just so that I can watch just a ton of anime, which I feel I would get a kick out of. That was a great anime. Yeah. Oh man. Like I really, because I'd also be keen to watch Chainsaw Man or read the Chainsaw Man manga. Um, because it's just it like tickles that kind of storytelling part of my brain that I really really like. So like it's not even like that style of story where it's really depressing, like despairingly depressing, but presented in a way that is enjoyable. You read the webcomic during COVID and then forgot about it until you started the show on Netflix and made a joke that and made a joke and your brain went, wait a minute, uh, I am LVE made the exact same joke before, then remembered the comic, trying to get him to watch Steins Gate next. Yes, that's on my list. That's high up on my list. Chainsaw Man was also good, animated even with its CGI animation. That's one thing that has like led me to kind of stand back from certain animes is that the CGI, depending on, so I actually don't mind the CGI like animation stuff, but if it drops below a certain frame rate, then it actually makes me feel kind of ill. So one of the animes that does that in a way where it does make me ill is Ajin. If any of you guys have seen that one, which is a anime, a really cool concept about people like a certain kind of person who is just immortal, so they can't die, but they're being hunted by the government, and this kid turns out to be one of these people, and he's being hunted by the government, and he falls in line with a guy who is also like an Ajin, but he's like psychopathic. Yeah, CGI in animes is 90% bad for any animation that is not mechanical. Yes. Yeah. And I think it's a really hard thing to achieve well in that apparently the best way to get the best out of it is to have it at that lower frame rate, but that lower frame rate makes me feel ill, so just can't watch those animes. Don't try Zombieland Saga. It is so bad. Even you had problems. That's fair. That's fair. Um, yeah, like if it falls below that kind of frame rate, then it fucks with my head, and I don't like that. I don't like being fucked with in the head. Did I see 86? I have not. I've seen it around, and I was curious to try it, but it's one of those things where it's like I wanted to try it, didn't make it any more likely that I tried it. I'm such an easily distracted like mouse in that I'm just like I said, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch all of One Piece, and then I keep jumping to like True Detective or Twin Peaks and things like that. So I keep jumping around because I get very easily distracted. 86 is a heavy recommendation. I will note that down. Thank you for that. I love getting recommendations because I always feel like they're I have my recommendations list, and if I ever feel like I need a break, I just like look to it and I'm like, pick out one of them and do it. 86. Okay, noted down. I also appear to seem to need some more graphite for my mechanical pencil because running out. You could recommend some not well known animes for sure. Please do. If it's not mainstream, great. I have no, preference to or against, but I'm up for anything. I also think we're done with this panel, so let's jump to the next one. Vivi Fluorite's Eye Song. Interesting name. What's it about? Great detailed animation. Ooh, that's how you win me over. Detailed animation, absolutely. I love a well-detailed anime. Just watch trailer. This pupil is from another world. Ah, cool. I will definitely check out the trailer. Next panel. Ratchet grabbing the crossbow from his dad. It's my dad. I love saying that. Anytime I play Persona, so that those of you who have been in my chat before, they know that I love Persona, like Persona 5. Every time I play Persona or play through it new, Sojiro, who's the cafe owner, I'm always just like, it's my dad, which is based on a Game Grumps joke, whereas it's like, my dad. And Aaron is just like going, yeah, my dad. He says I'm the best kisser in the world. My dad. So I'm always just like, every time I see Sojiro, he's like, hey, it's my dad. I love that character. Is that Lord Greymouse? No, it's somebody else. Hey, Zombie Slayer, how you doing? I hope you are well. I don't know why I said that so robotically. I hope you're well. Or Osama rating. The style is so different that people usually turn it down because of this. Oh, okay. But the story with so many plots and character progressions. Cool, I'll give it a shot. I like it depends. Like there are certain animes that I didn't get into because the style was weird or not weird, different. Like but I'm always willing to give things a shot and give things a go. We have Redline on my list. Yes, Redline is on my list. That's one I have heard of before, or heard of vaguely. That's a stubby little finger. Hold on. There we go. Better. There we go. Nice. Highlight. Use the color called skill. The racing anime movie. Ah, right. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's the one. Well, I kept it in your mind. Thanks. Yeah. Can't use a color called skill. That doesn't make sense. Gibberish. Zombie Slayer. Absolute madness. mouse did I watch the Dark Souls lo-fi? Yes. The I can't remember their names. What their like group's name. But I did, yeah. I like them. Over 100,000 hand-drawn frames. Damn, that's really cool. I did, and I like them. The Kiwis, a couple of Kiwis, and their content is really good. I really like their jokes as well because they were like. So one thing that I like, I'm always kind of aware of, with Dark Souls based parodies or comedies or things like that, is that a lot of them like make fun of the widely established things to make fun of. Viva la Dirt League, that's it. Yeah, that's what they're called. Um, they make fun of stuff that is like widely established, so a lot of their humor isn't there. There's a I can't remember who it is, but it's like an animated Dark Souls like parody, and they just rehash like classic memes about Dark Souls, and it's not funny. It's like none of it's original. It's really not funny. But Viva la Dirt League had some really interesting and very funny jokes. So I did really enjoy it, and I really like the production value as well of it because it's like it's clearly low budget, but like they put everything into it. The Kiwis, yeah, the Kiwis. There's a certain way that certain people, certain there's a certain way that New Zealanders say things that gives it away. I'm not certain what it is. Um, it's an inflection on something. Summertime Render was also very good. The timeline and the learning of the rules. That's cool. That's cool. I'll add that to the list too. Summertime Render. You also know because Kiwis say Chalibin instead of Esky or portable freezer, depending on where you are. I gotta be careful. My boss is a Kiwi. In Redline, yeah. Which is awesome. And like that alone is like reason to check it out as well, I think. Like sometimes there was a not a Da Vinci, a Van Gogh documentary which was based around his life. And it was animated, but stop motion animated through hundreds of thousands of paintings. And it was a shame because the content of the documentary wasn't very interesting. So as a result, not a lot of people saw it, but the artistic merit of the actual video is astounding. They have first person shooter gaming supercut logic videos as well. That's oh yeah, yeah. I think I when I watched their videos, I realized I'm like, oh yeah, I have seen these people before. They do like fantasy RPG logic things as well. And I was like, oh yeah, these guys I know. They're good. They're good quality. They tried to make a movie, and I don't think it did very well. Like, because I think they tried to Kickstarter a movie, and it wasn't very interesting. Like, it wasn't an interesting idea. They didn't do too well. But like, I love their content. Kiwi sounds funny. If you catch it right, is that what you call some members of the what country? That's what we call New Zealanders. We call them Kiwis. Uh, which is so like very funny. Uh, we love yeah. There are plenty of Kiwis in Adelaide. I've found like plenty of Kiwis. They're lovely. They're all lovely people. And I love New Zealand and New Zealanders. They're all really really friendly. From what I from my personal experience. But I do also love the Australian like vernacular or mannerism to have nicknames for certain uh, like countries or people from countries. Sid is a Kiwi transplant. Nice. So is Tealful, who's a streamer who I every so often raid into. it is something that is only used in Australia. I can't be certain, but I know we call Americans Yanks, which is after Yankee, not after like not anything too derogatory. But it's a very Australian thing to like refer to people or nationalities as nicknames, and they were some of the baddest motherfuckers of bad motherfuckers in World War Two. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was counting that her accent is definitely like Australian. Yeah. I think Zid is Australian. Or is Zid Australian living in New Zealand or a New Zealander living in Australia? Which one is it? Either way, very accepted. But also, like, the Kiwi accent is very similar to the Australian accent. She's New Zealand and Oz. Okay, yes. So she's a Kiwi in Australia. She's got that Kiwi accent. She says Chalibin. Probably. I'll ask. I'll ask her next time I catch a stream. Or you guys ask. But is she sound more like Kiwi or Oz? I don't know. Personally, I don't know. Because I haven't caught a stream yet, but I will do. But so I could do a New Zealander, like a New Zealand accent if you guys want. Because I've been surrounded by New Zealanders most of my life because they love to come here and just be here. So I could do one as long as you guys are okay with it and as long as there are no New Zealanders in chat. Legally, you have to tell me if you're a Kiwi and you're in my chat. You never realized that the Kiwi accent is a thing. Yeah, yeah. It's just certain words that are different. Like, it's just certain words that are slightly unique. You're from America, you have no clue. Yeah, so, like, so if I were to talk like a Kiwi, they have slightly, that's almost South African, sorry. They have slightly different inflections on things. And one of the big things that I've noticed is that they say Chalibin instead of Iski. And when they say Iski, they say it with like that, Iski. I never knew. And they say New Zealand. I'm from Europe, and you definitely think that Zid had an Aussie accent. It's very close. So like, I don't blame you for not recognizing the distinction. But you did not know that could be Kiwi. They have an RPG game video about forcing yourself to loot everybody, crate, box, chest, and fort. So their friend gets mad at them for the addiction, and right next to them is a gold skull worth 20k gold in that game. That's good. That's pretty funny. I like that. Yeah. I should just subscribe to them because I do like their content. But their content is like the kind of stuff that you find like randomly. It's like you stumble upon it one day and you're like, "Oh, that's pretty good." I'm sure they don't have other videos like that, and then you realize that they do and you're like, "Oh, cool, I should sub to them." Well, you still like that you can notice the difference between US, UK, and Australia. That's good. Yeah, it's still a good skill to have. It sounded like the Australian was just with a kind of southern drawl. That's pretty much what it is, and I don't want to be like mean to my Kiwi neighbors. But it pretty much is. It's like it's an Australian accent with a drawl to it. Don't want to be that guy, but they did copy us. And apparently, it's a long-standing tradition for Australians and New Zealanders to argue about cricket and pavlova. It's a big thing with New Zealanders. They believe that they named the pavlova what it is, and Australians believe that they named the pavlova. So big fight amongst uh, the two countries. No winners though. The content is like that stuff. You have to be in the know to watch it. Yeah, absolutely. It's like you could glance across it and not know what it is, and then just move on. But if you know about their like channel and their content, then they're just like you're just like, oh, cool, it's them, and that's great. But yeah, also like the location that they have um in their like videos and stuff is just so beautiful. It can't be Australian. And I don't mean that in like dunking on Australia. I mean that more in that it's clearly New Zealand because of how beautiful the locations are. Because New Zealand has some beautiful geography. Fun fact, when you're up in Canada, when people find out you're from Alabama, you always put on the biggest southern drawl you can, and they love it for some reason. They do. People do love it. I used to work with pharmacists and chemists who came from like India and Sri Lanka and places like that. And they were very new to Australia. So anytime I was working with them, I put on a stronger Australian accent because my Australian accent, if you guys don't know, is not very strong. It's because I have a weird family. And so I have a bit of an English drawl. Um, which videos did you watch? Lord Grey Mouse Boop. This man is genius. Yeah. I watched the ones you sent me. So the first one that you sent me, because I know the other two are um, those videos, but just separated. So I watched the one video that you showed me. It makes a lot of sense why they filmed Lord of the Rings in New Zealand. Yeah, just natural beauty. Like unmatched natural beauty. It looks like a fantasy world. I went there as a kid, and I would love to go back because it's beautiful. Also, another reason why they filmed Lord of the Rings in New Zealand, Peter Jackson, Kiwi. He's a Kiwi. That's a New Zealand accent. You can tell because it's really offensive. I'm so sorry, all my New Zealanders in chat. I could only apologize. How the Grey review works. Do you need to know the movie or do just a quick read of it and make it sound like you know the movie? So Grey review basically, yeah, if I know the movie, then he shits on anything you ask him to review. Yeah, pretty much. Like Zombie Slayer actually gets it down to a T. If I don't know the movie, I'll quickly look it up and see what it's about, and then I'll talk to you. I'll chat about it, basically. If I know the movie, then I'll probably have more. I'll have more constructive and comprehensive things to say. But like, I will talk about anything, movies, games, or whatever. But yeah, because I have a degree in film, a lot of people ask for films and stuff because I can break down that more analytically, as it were. No, seriously, don't ask him to review anything at all. That's rude. Mouse rarely has anything constructive or comprehensive to say. Shut the fuck up, Zombie Slayer. I may have come out of the gate too strong there. That is mean. No, I can talk about anything, of course. Mass, did you watch the creepy NPCs video they made? Yes. Oh, it's like so cool. Like the practical, not practical effects because it's basically just the audio edited over a guy not talking, but the production value of what they did is so cool because the guy looks creepy as fuck, like creepy and mysterious as fuck, and I enjoyed that video the most. I thought it really caught like something very odd about the Dark Souls games, which is that no one's lips move when they talk. And I actually don't see a lot of jokes made about that, which I feel like people miss like a potentially very funny joke. Parasite. I have seen Parasite. South Korea, 2019 drama thriller comedy. I loved Parasite. I actually own it on DVD. Parasite is a fascinating exploration of the class system, and it is so beautifully done. Bong Joon-ho masterfully kind of built upon this allegory of, not allegory, but these themes of not even class warfare, but this nature of class and the perpetual cycle of the class disparity and the class divide. As we follow these characters who make a rise to wealth through deception and dishonest means. However, the question of who is the parasite or who are the parasites of this film is always left open and open-ended. And so as a result, we have this really fascinating exploration where we also get to know these characters who are also in the same position as our main family. However, because of the nature of class and classism, they are protective of the wealthy family. So as a result, there is no peace. And there's no peace in the lower classes because of this disparity that they're not even truly aware of. You like how you did not know 1/5 of the words he used at the beginning. Don't know 1/5. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I love the film. I love it a lot. The cinematography is fantastic. The editing is really good because it is editing in a means of rhythm, which is such a beautiful, because the story beats work in a rhythm with the editing, and as a result, the film flows and you don't actually feel the time or the it is okay, sad face. It's you don't feel that the movie is long because it is edited in a way where it feels like it flows and flows like water. Yes, you're right, but my Riz, Lord Greymouse, has a huge ego, so you have been required by law of the Gaming High Council to keep him in check. Mouse love nothing, hates everything. This includes Parasite. Mouse thinks that for people to see him as smart, he must use old-timey and old people words. Realistically, none of us see him as smart. Jesus. He's a really good director. Bong Joon-ho is fantastic. And he definitely deserved, because he got Parasite won 4 Oscars, which I feel they were deserved. Have I seen more movies from him? The only other movie I've seen from him is Snowpiercer, which I also really enjoyed. And would highly recommend. That's also another film about class warfare. The not the original. The one with Chris Evans in it. So Bong Joon-ho directed that one. And if you've watched Parasite, you'll actually notice that the dad from Parasite is the engineer in Snowpiercer, which I like. Bong Joon-ho, that's one of Bong Joon-ho's favorite actors. They kind of work together on most of their stuff, or most of his stuff. And he's really good, so I fully get why Bong Joon-ho trusts him. Not the TV series. Please, can somebody write it down? Snowpiercer? I can. Hold on. I got this note for you. You can pick it up after the stream. Oh, and because it's a grey review, I will give a like numbered score for Parasite as well. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I think Parasite isn't a fantastic film. So I would actually give it a, let's say, 8.5 out of 10. Snowpiercer. You didn't even know what Snowpiercer was until I told you to watch it. I don't remember you telling me to watch it, but I doubt it. I have it on DVD. It's here in my house. Nice try, Zombie Slayer. I know what Snowpiercer is. I've been to the movies. I know cinema. Oh, this one. Yes. Yes, it is that one. don't know which one you're talking about, but I assume it's correct. Thing about my chat is the moment you subscribe, you instantly get a 3% buff to intelligence. But only for films. But not all films. You do not know about. Are you sure it could go wrong way? It could go. It could be a negative modifier. You might get 5% more stupid, but it's randomized. And it's only 5% as well. So really, you can take the odds. Definitely get a little bit dumber about other things. Multiplicative or additive? It depends. Depends if you've had your Yakult. Because that's kind of like a buffer. Or a safeguard. It actually makes sure that you get the knowledge. As opposed to it just bouncing off. Very important. Very important. Mouse, is there Dark Souls noob video? How most people approach the games? I don't know, actually. I don't really watch them because I'm not a Dark Souls noob. No, I'm not dunking. I'm not aiming to dunk on anyone, but like, I don't know. Actually, one thing I recommend, if you're interested in Dark Souls but you don't want to play it, or you don't want to, feel like you're a noob at it, the guys I watch and have watched for years and years and years and years, they're called They used to be called Prepare to Try, so their Dark Souls 1, 3, and Bloodborne videos are all on. They used to be on IGN, but they're this trio of three guys called Prepare to Try, and they play through Dark Souls. One of them plays through Dark Souls for the first time. One of them explains the lore, and they have and then one of them just like hangs out and has really good banter with them. Um, and it's really good. I've really enjoyed their series, especially Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. So if you want like a rundown of the lore or like the world building, that's who I recommend for them. And if you want to watch people who start as like total noobs to the game, then that's definitely a good place to go. Um, I want to be the actually type of guy, but it's addition, not additive. You don't know. You don't know what he means. You don't know what creative means. He could mean additive. Language is all just made up words. Also creative because you're new here. Zombie Slayer is our resident bully. Sounds like a cool way to get into it. Yeah, it is. It really is. Snowpiercer, I think I see that one. Is that the one with end where you see the snow around? Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, that is the one. It's got Captain America in it. Before he was Captain America, and I think he's a very good actor, and he's very good in this. Plays a character called Curtis Everett. Yeah, you did see that. Yeah. I like to bring it up because, great. It's very charming. I did seen that. Yeah. Yeah. Highly recommend Snowpiercer. Highly recommend Parasite. Both incredible films. I think we don't give Bong Joon-ho enough credit. It was not bad, actually very great. Good. No, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. I like it. So, for me, that's good enough. I found more often these days it visually very great. Yeah. I found these days I end up not enjoying a lot of films, which is a real shame. I went to see Nope, and I think I've talked about this on stream before, but I went to see Nope, really hoping to enjoy it, and there are bits that are great, of course, but I didn't hugely enjoy it. Correct if I'm your resident bully and just bully you. I'm not the bully for your chat, who are very nice to me. You bully everyone. I see through you. I see through you, zombies. I know what you're up to. Corrective, like additive, not correction. That being said, I also am Zombie Slayer's resident bully. Because he needs to be brought down a few pegs. I gave him VIP, but could take it away at any time. I'll fucking do it. I'll bloody do it. Zombie Slayer. Hold on a moment. Just gonna. Don't bully Loki. Loki's nice to you, and you don't bully your chat either. Loki and chat are great. I'll be right Apologies for that. I'm back. Uh, but he has more good movies. I did see Barking Dogs Never Bite for memory, or Memories of Murder. I haven't seen those ones. I still did not see Mother. I haven't seen that one either. Add those all to my list. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I just quickly left to go check my doors and stuff. So for those of you who don't know, mostly D-Art Creative and few other people in chat, my home was broken into recently, so I'm a little bit like on edge about stuff like that currently. Working through it, but ultimately, yeah, still working through it, as it were. What happened? So I'm not sure really. I went off. I went to work, and then basically I came home, and my front door had been busted in. My home had been ransacked. Luckily, nothing was stolen, but it did really shake me up. So as a result, I was like, I I went to stay with some friends for some time. I called the police immediately, and they weren't very helpful, which is classic police. But like, they weren't very helpful, and then until the lock was fixed, I stayed with some friends and didn't come back to my place. And then once the lock was fixed, I've been living back here and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been like little on edge about it ever since, which is like to be expected, of course. But always still a bit sucky. And as I was saying, like at the start of the stream, as we're getting into winter here in Australia, I only just turned my like portable heater on for the first time, and it's just broken. I'm gonna have to get a new one. There's not really much I can do about that, but it's just like it's frustrating. Did you lose something you missed? No. So far, like I've checked the house multiple times and stuff like that. Nothing was stolen. The police suspect they were just looking for quick cash or jewelry, and I don't have any of that in my house because I use my credit card. Now I don't pay with physical cash anymore. I just use like digital. And then I don't have jewelry, so nothing was stolen. Either movies are becoming less polished and it's just made solely for money with no heart, most likely, in it, or just becoming a complainer and keep realizing plot holes. Yeah, potentially, but I think it is genuinely more of the former. Nothing being stolen seems weird, but thank God that's what it was. Yeah, it is super weird, and I was, yeah, genuinely surprised as well, but yeah, nothing was taken, which is good, because fuck, that's just frustrating. Like, that's just deeply frustrating. And if it was something of sentimental value, that fucking sucks. Monetary value, sure, you can get like insurance on stuff like that. But it's just like, fuck. It's just frustrating. But yeah, nothing was stolen, so that's good. Just my peace of mind was disturbed more, and the front door was busted in. But with the front door being busted in, because I rent, the landlord had to take care of it, which is fair. Can someone borrow me points? Don't know what you mean by that. Borrow your points? No, they're your points. They're for you. Burn them. My phone with my. It's also why you never watch history movies or shows, since you're going to be mad that armor wasn't made in this era. It wasn't made until 300 years later. Horses weren't used as cavalry in this time period. You fucking idiot. That's not how you stop an 18th century cavalry charge. Ugh. Yeah, that is annoying. Yeah, that's fair. I want to ask you one more review. Does not have enough points. Must wait. Then, no worries, gamer. I got it. I love that you said gamer. No worries, gamer. That's just so Zombie Slayer. Stay home, working from home. Should I take some emotional damage from that? Yes, yes, you should, just a little bit. Get Greymaster to review a game or movie badly for you. Fuck you. Damn you. Always gets the last laugh in. Zombie Slayer. Yeah, ouch, that hurts. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. What would you like me to review? Current political climate. And it's like, ah, shit. That was unintentional, I swear to God it was. And take a loan out on points and bits if you want. I love that. Just have a loan system. That couldn't work because I can't hack the Twitch system, but it's just like loan out points. The only person here you would shit all over his mouse and the conversation ends there. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. You can make fun of the streamer. That's fair enough. Don't want I don't want chat making fun of chat. Moment to remember: South Korea romantic drama, one of the most heartbreaking stories you will see. Oh, moment to remember. I will remember that. I'll write it down too. Correct. Let me look that up. Moment to. Ooh, it scored quite well on Rotten Tomatoes. Nice. Moment to remember. Based on the 2001 Japanese television drama Pure Soul. What's the story though? Follows the theme of discovery in a relationship and the burdens of loss caused by Alzheimer's disease. Interesting. When memories are gone, the soul is also gone. Yeah. Huh. That's a hauntingly beautiful concept because I haven't seen the film. Like, as far as plot line and from what I know of the plot line goes, that's hauntingly beautiful. Tragic, but also, the nature of life. In that, even if we don't get Alzheimer's or dementia or things like that, we will be gone one day. And that can be quite confronting and can be quite confronting for our loved ones. It's a beautiful it's a beautiful concept for a story. And though it can be confronting, you can still find peace and stuff like that. And I like films that actually explore, the romance of it and explore that aspect. So I'd be keen to watch that. Joke's on you, I'm immortal until proven otherwise. That's also one way of looking at things like that. You can have all the mouse reviews paid for as much as you like. That's very kind of you, Zombie Slayer. Joke's on you, Mortal. I love that energy. So other than Loki, most of us have to come to terms with our mortality in some capacity. But it looks like he'll do the review later. Yes. Ah, Chuggy Yaki. Alright, hold on. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Go grab my yak. Yakult just fell out of the fridge. Also gluten free. I didn't know that. Lovely. Should have shaken it. Oh well, it's open. Cap's open. You hear that? No. I got the Yakult in my hands. Ah. Delicious. It is quite nice. Got a whole family pack of Yakult in my fridge. Just for these streams. Don't you guys go saying that I don't do nothing for you. Also, thank you for the hydrate redemption, Zombie Slayer. Have my chaser after my shot. Korea have so much unusual concepts. We also liked the one where the guy bankruptcy wanted to kill himself, jump off a bridge, but he wake up on the island on the water in the middle of a big city, and started to live there. That is a lovely concept. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, like what Korea comes up with storyline wise. That is such an interesting idea. Mouse, can I say a very controversial game for me to review? Yeah, sure. Go for it. Gonna need to make it quick though, because I'll probably end stream soon. Not soon, but in a few minutes. Because I'm not feeling like hugely well, I guess. Last of Us 2. Ah, yes. I know this game has had a lot of controversy around it for various different reasons. I don't think a lot of them are warranted. Well, I guess the response has not been warranted or fair. Because like the reaction, I heard a lot about the reaction to The Last of Us 2. It's so much interesting living in the middle of a very big city, but nobody knows about you, and you have no technology there. Huh. That's nice. Yeah, it would be like a really lovely film for like a nice reset, like, or a sensory reset, and remind yourself what's important in life, according to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and things like that. But getting back to The Last of Us 2, I've only seen like an intro, like the intro to it. I saw Jacksepticeye start playing it. And I stopped watching it because I was like, oh wow, like one thing I noticed like straight away was that the dialogue was not good.
at the start anyway. I don't know how it goes going further on and stuff like that, but like the dialogue at the start was not good. Like Joel and Ellie have a conversation right at the start and it feels clunky. Like it feels like it's not two people who have known each other for forever. It feels like two people reading their lines. It almost feels weird. From what I know, spoilers wise, and spoilers for The Last of Us 2, because I may accidentally spoil more than I realize and things like that, so you're warned. But I think like Abby got the voice actress for Abby got way too much hate, of course. But I also think creatively it may have been a very poor decision to write that way. But then again, also it is his like Neil Druckmann's story, and you kind of need to understand that the creator of the story can take it any way they desire, and it shouldn't be up to what people are comfortable with or what people prefer. It's his story, and he's writing it his way. And people have kind of lost that respect for things like that or that process. And even if the story is necessarily bad, that's on them ultimately if they don't react well to it. And I think this is also one thing that I noticed as well is that because he didn't react well to the backlash and the poor reception of The Last of Us 2, he blamed it on an aspect that was getting a lot of notoriety in popular culture, and as a result, he kind of defended himself by blaming others. That's not good. Last of Us 2 seems like it could be a great game if parts of it were shuffled around and if it wasn't so damn long. It's 20 to 30 hours long, holy shit. Whereas one was 10 hours, that's much more manageable. Yeah, absolutely. The biggest problem is there's still the whole revenge bad while standing on a pile of bodies to get to that revenge bad moment. Yeah, and I think that was something I heard about and I was just like, oh yeah, Abby like sought revenge, but in such a negative way in that she's murdered a whole bunch of people who didn't deserve to die. Even in her, mentality, but then justified it by me want revenge and stuff like that. Does the dialogue feel robotic and forced? The only bit that I've seen is like the starting sequence with Joel and Ellie, and they talk to each other, and it felt clunky. I don't think it felt forced, it felt clunky. Which I don't know how to like delve into, like how to explain what I'm thinking, but it's like the conversation didn't feel like conversation that two people who have known each other for, now at this point years and are basically, father and daughter. Like it didn't feel like that way to talk to each other. It's like in stories when you have to establish sibling like dynamics and people go, people who don't have siblings write, hey big bro, hey little sis, in their stories, and it's like really lame. I catch you. Grey sock puppet. That's 3? Yes, it's 3.
Huzzah! Hello, grey sock.
There we go. Yeah. And now you can take me far more seriously about my review of The Last of Us now that I'm a sock puppet. I'm actually pretty close to finished on this panel as well. I'm not going to stick it out, but that's pretty much it. Like, that's it. This is it. I just need to do light. And then I'm done. And we'll rate out.
And start using the hex light. So one thing I found that I really like is that in most, hold on, oh right, in most cinematography and photography, the like a lens will actually have like a hexagonal light diffusion or reflection, and I really like that. So I've developed a new brush which is like more hexagonal that I'm going to use for highlights and lights and stuff. But yeah. That could be smaller. Both could really be smaller. Cool. Revenge Bad is a fine story, but your character either has to keep their hands clean or have an arc. Absolutely. And not to get the final moment of revenge and just go, nah, yeah, like I'm not going to be as bad as you. And like the truth is they're worse. Right? So it feels like, as you said, they're reading from the script, whereas they should be able to talk to each other even if there was no script. Is that right? Sort of, yeah. That in a sense is part of it. I think also the writing is done in a way where it doesn't feel natural. So the writing itself is dialogue that's been written from the perspective of a person who is writing two characters who doesn't know that dynamic, like who doesn't understand that dynamic well enough or personal enough to actually write dialogue that is personal and relatable. So as a result, Ellie and Joel sound like they don't know each other very well, as opposed to having been, a team for a really long time. I do not saying that revenge should have justification, but if you are insane to do things that is bad only to get one thing that you think is good from your side, it is not justifiable. It doesn't justify anything. Yeah. Just the thing you lost yourself at the cost of trying to get something. Yeah, and like I always consider revenge stories to be tragic tales. Because if you pursue revenge wholeheartedly, then you'd become a monster yourself just to achieve something that you want, not something that you do in redemption of anyone else. So for me, the only way to do a successful revenge story is to do it as a tragic tale, because you have to lose yourself and become a monster to achieve revenge. Because revenge just isn't worth it. Agreed, because otherwise the character is a contradiction of the story, yeah. Before setting out for revenge first, yeah. Does it feel like the dialogue writer didn't play the first game? Potentially. Also, one thing I learned when I did screenwriting was that you have like the best place to write from is write from personal experience or write in regards to personal experience. So you wouldn't write a story based around. So for me personally, as Grey Mouse, you wouldn't write a story based around, or I wouldn't write a story based around a purple cat because I'm Grey Mouse. You can delve into that, but you have to do the accurate and respectable research to actually do it justice. You write a story based around something that you don't have any personal standing in or researched experience in, then you run the risk of creating dialogue and world building that is inaccurate and doesn't do the due respect of the content that you are talking about. With The Last of Us 2, it's clear that like whoever wrote the opening dialogue or the dialogue there doesn't have that kind of a relationship with, a daughter figure or a father figure. And so they draw from tropes or from pre-existing material, and it doesn't sound natural because like ultimately the situation between Joel and Ellie isn't stereotypical or classical. It's these two people have found each other in, a dystopia, and it's a very desolate, depressing situation to be in. And it's complicated. So as a result, if you don't have that foundational like knowledge or understanding, then you create dialogue that is just like, "Oh, hey there, Joel." Um, and she asks like a question, and it doesn't strike a chord very well in the dialogue, and it feels weird. It feels weirdly clunky. But that's just me. Did I see Old Boy, 2003 South Korea? I haven't seen that. I'd really love to, because I've heard very good things about it, and I've heard very bad things about the remake with Josh Brolin and Elizabeth Olsen. So I'd love to watch that, but I haven't yet. I will say I will call that now as well. So we've made some really good progress today. Zoom out just a touch. We've finished 2 panels, which is actually really good for us. But we'll move on to rating out at this point. So let me check. Please, not the no new Old Boy. Yeah, no, the new Old Boy is. I've heard very bad things about that. All right, who of my friends do I see? I got a few people. It's good. I'd be keen to raid into Agonizing Puddle. Because he popped into my stream recently, and he's just a lovely guy. Although revenge stories do tend to be tragic, and they have to lose themselves if they're moral about their revenge and are justified, then go full send ahead. No, it's not always, but that it's not always that, but if it is, then I don't care, just go off. Yeah, exactly. You have to accept that you're becoming a monster and then do whatever the hell you want. No remakes, just Americans do so much remakes of South Koreans movies. Yeah, they do. I heard that they're apparently trying to, they had planned to remake Squid Game, like the first season of Squid Game. It's just a bad idea. The remakes are always so bad. Oh yeah, absolutely. But with that said, how about we head into Agonizing Puddle? Yeah, it's like you want to write a new Star Wars movie and you do only your work to look at the New Hope and start doing the things that works in that one, but nothing connects. There is no logic, nothing new, and some stupidity. Yeah, exactly. You just don't do the source material justice if you do it like that. Let's get this raid going. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. I really appreciate it. This stream has been lovely. It's been lovely to meet you creative. You hate Disney Wars, that's fair. And it was really lovely to have you all here. But I will see you all on Tuesday. Night, night.